channel. So today I'm coming with a video. It is Charlotte's 8th, 9th, and 10th month update. The last update I did on my channel for her was her 7-month update, and so I'm coming to do all of the other months because she is now 10 months heading into her 11th month. So I have my phone because, as you guys know, I try to keep all my notes on here to update you guys on everything that's happened. Because I'm doing 3 months in one, there's a lot to catch you guys up on, and so I'm going to condense it as good as I can. But there's a lot that's happened over these last 3 months, so let's get right into it. So let me go into my notes, and I'm hoping my camera is actually recording because I'm doing like the thing with my Canon Connect on my app. Hi. And she's just gonna be a little busybody, just roaming. So yeah, I'm just gonna be roaming. Yeah, that's what she's gonna do. Okay, let me go to my notes and tell you guys. Okay, so as I said in the last video, the last doctor visit that she had was her 9-month well visit, and so they moved from the 3 months into, now we're gonna do, they moved from the every 2 months, and now we're doing every 3 months. So her last developmental checkup before the 9-month was 6 months. So in her 9-month visit, which was actually on October the 14th, today is November the 29th. So just to give you guys a point of reference, it's been over a month and a half since her last checkup. Some of the things that the doctor told us. So at that visit, she was 17 pounds, 6 ounces. So she was in the 28th percentile for her weight. She was in the 42th percentile for her height, and she was in the 65th percentile for her head. If you've been looking at these videos, her head circumference has always been a little above average. Actually, when she was born, I think she was like in the 90th percentile. She had like this big head and like the small body. Her weight percentiles have been going up steadily over the last few months, so that's good. She's eating well and growing. And her height has always kind of been like a little bit below average, but almost at the average point. So yeah, so that was what we learned in that visit. Mainly in that visit, we focused on her development. It was more of like a developmental visit. I think I told you guys that in the last video. So the doctor was really focusing on like just how she's been doing from a developmental standpoint in regards to kids that are her same age. So making sure she's making like the appropriate vowel sounds, and doing like things like sticking her arm in her shirt and pulling it through, and if she was at least crawling or making motions to crawl and all of that. And so all of those things checked out. Very easy. I think she's on track developmentally, in part to her peers and everything. She is currently standing all over the place, and as you guys probably saw just earlier in the video, she's standing, she's cruising. So what that is like she's holding on to the furniture and like walking with the furniture. She's actually even taking a few steps. She's standing without holding on to anything. So my mom and I think she's probably going to start walking here soon, because she's at least started to take a few steps without holding on to anything, so getting into the motion of walking. In that appointment, we were not supposed to have any vaccinations, but for some reason she needed one, which I was kind of blown, taken aback by, because I was excited, because I told you guys before I don't necessarily like the vaccination part because it just, she cries and it's just a whole situation. So she ended up getting a vaccine that day anyway, which kind of sucks, but she's on track with her vaccinations and all of that, so that's good. Also in that appointment, the doctor asked about if I had noticed that she looks kind of cross-eyed sometimes. And when she's been pointing that out at every visit, and I think that after the 6-month visit is when they look for it as like concern, because I think before 6 months they're saying their muscles are still strengthening. So 9 times out of 10 your baby eyes may stray a little bit and not looking focused. But because she was 9 months and that's still happening, the doctor is recommending that we go to an ophthalmologist. I think the appointment for that is actually tomorrow, November the 30th. So we're gonna go get her seen there. The terminology for it is called strabismus. Dravimus. I don't know. I'll link it up here. But it mainly focuses on the eye weakness, meaning like the muscles in her eye are weak. And I do notice it sometimes now that the doctor's pointed it out, which it'll look like one eye will look straight ahead and then another eye will go like inward randomly, and then sometimes like this eye will look straight ahead or this eye will go inward. They're never both going inward at the same time, which I think is more like the cross-eyed piece of it, but sometimes they do straight. So we'll see what the doctor says tomorrow about that. I mean, it's not something that's like gravely concerning. They'll put some of the treatment for it is they'll put like a patch over the eyes to strengthen the muscles, and sometimes I think they may prescribe glasses for the babies. It just all depends. So we'll see what the doctor says tomorrow. After her 9-month visit at the end of October, she got sick for the first time, y'all. That was a whole ordeal. So one day, it was like a Thursday. I remember the day. It was a Thursday, and it was random because that morning she woke up fine. She was just, you know, her normal self. And then in the afternoon, I think right before I was getting ready to put her down for bed, we noticed that she was warmer. And I was like, she's kind of warm. And so I took her temperature, and it was like 100.2, which is like right at the cusp for concern. I think anything over 100.2 is like when they're like in the fever zone or whatever. So she went down to sleep. She slept okay that night, but not the best. She was kind of up and down a little bit here and there. So then Friday, we were like, okay, let's just see how she's doing on Friday. Took her temperature, it was like 102. And I called a doctor because that's the first time I've noticed her temperature to be that high. And the doctor was like, take her into urgent care, because when I was on the phone with the doctor, she was like really like fussy. So she was like crying and whining. And the doctor was like, one, because that's higher, because at first we thought it was just her teething. And the doctor was like, no, that temperature is higher than what a teething temperature would be. So take her into urgent care just to be safe or whatever. And so, I mean, her main symptoms was that she had this fever. She was lethargic. She wasn't really acting like herself. She didn't really have a cough, and she didn't really sneeze that much, but she just seemed off. So I gave her some Tylenol, and then we took her into urgent care. By the time she got to urgent care, her temperature was only like 99, which isn't really a high temperature. But at that point, I think the Tylenol had started working on her. And so they checked her out, and the doctor was like, oh, we think it's maybe just a random cold. They gave her a catheter to do a urine sample, because they said sometimes female babies get UTIs. So they were checking her for that. The one they did in the office came back negative, but they was going to send the culture to the lab to see if anything grew. I never heard back, so I assumed she didn't have a UTI. And so that was Friday. So then Saturday, she was just like really not herself, like constantly like tired and like going to sleep every 2 hours. And it was the worst. It was just a bad feeling to see her in whatever the pain she was in. We don't know what it was, but she just was not herself. So then Sunday, she started to seem a little bit better. Saturday night she didn't sleep well at all. So then Sunday morning I ran to the store to pick up groceries and came back, and she had like this rash on her face. I think she had an allergic reaction to like this lotion my mom had on, because I could smell the lotion, and she has really sensitive skin, like eczema prone skin. And so Monday I called the doctor, because the urgent care doctor told me to follow up with her pediatrician. So Monday I called her pediatrician and was just like, hey, we had a visit to the urgent care on Friday. Can I bring her in to get checked out? So we did that on Monday. And by Monday, she was noticeably turning a corner, like getting more like herself, not seeming as, you know, lethargic and all of that. But she still had that rash on her face. And so when we went to the doctor was like, I think she has roseola, because roseola is like you have this fever, this high fever, and then it breaks. And then when the fever breaks, you get a rash. The thing that concerned me about her having roseola is that it's something viral, meaning she picked it up somewhere. And y'all know COVID. And we ain't been nowhere. So I was like freaking out and like beat myself. I was like, how did she get roseola? Blah, blah, blah. But then I started thinking back in the back of my head. I was like, I don't think she had roseola. I think she got a rash to allergic reaction to my mom's lotion, because roseola starts on your chest and then it spreads. It could spread to your limbs in your face. She didn't have a rash like down on her chest. So I don't know. That was my decision. Anyway, she got better. She got better, and we got over her first like real sickness scare, and so after that she was fine. So by the end of that week, the week we took her to the doctor, she was back to her normal self. So but it just sucked, you know. It's just seeing them, and they're young. When your baby's like this young and they can't tell you what's wrong, right, Stanka? You can't tell me what was wrong. When they can't tell you what's wrong, it's just heartbreaking, because you can't, you know, you can try to treat the symptoms, but you don't really know what you're treating, right? So anyway, that was just really hard to go through. So yeah, so that was like all of like the doctor stuff. And like I said, since then she's been fine. So now we'll go into her eating. So we have transitioned her to mainly like solid food, like regular people solid food, not baby food. She eats 3 meals a day. I try to feed her 3 meals a day, with that middle meal, which I told you guys before, we struggled with. So what I'll do with that middle lunch meal is more of like a snack. So like in the morning, she'll either have like waffles or French toast sticks and some type of fruit. So she'll do maybe like peaches or strawberries. And then now she's also drinking juice. Oh dang, I don't have her sippy cup. She's drinking apple juice, but I really diluted a lot with water. So it's mainly like just water, but with a little bit of apple juice. So she's drinking that after her meals as well, in her little sippy cup. And she's doing really good. She eats really well. I mean, some mornings, you know, like they say these babies, they're not going to eat good every morning. Like, well, I think some babies do. She doesn't. Like sometimes she'll eat good, sometimes not so much, but she's eating at least every morning. And then at lunchtime, she'll have these little like Fig Newton superfood, like little, I don't know what you call them. They're little, I don't even know what you call it. They're like breaded little thingies. She'll have that for lunch, again with apple juice. And then for dinner, her favorite food is pasta. Like, so I'll do like whole wheat pasta or veggie pasta mixed in with some tomato sauce. Like that's her absolute favorite. She kills that every time. She'll do rice and broccoli. We have these little broccoli bites that she'll do. We have these little spinach bites that she'll do. What else does she like for dinner? I think those are like her favorites. Oh, black beans is a favorite of hers. So if me and my mom do like a taco bowl, I'll fix her like the little bit of like the Mexican rice with the black beans. And a little bit of meat, like a little bit of ground turkey. She's eating like turkey, regular turkey and chicken. So she's eating pretty balanced meals. I try to make sure she has a balanced meal. At least try to get like 2 good balanced meals a day, and then that middle meal kind of be like a healthy snack. And so she's eating well. In addition to eating like her solid, she's also drinking breast milk. So I'm still pumping. Oh Lord, y'all, I'm so ready. Like at 12 months, I'm done. Like I'm over these morning sessions and night sessions. Like I'm really starting to struggle with it, because it's just, I guess I've been doing it so long, but yeah, I'm kind of over this whole pumping thing. So she is drinking about 7 to 8 ounces every 4 hours of breast milk. So that's what she's drinking and eating milk wise. So she'll have a bottle in the morning when she first wake up, and then she'll have one in the afternoon when she wakes up from her first nap, and then she'll have another one when she goes down for her evening like sleep, and then she'll kind of snack, drink milk like during the day. But those are like her main feedings. Okay, so moving on to sleeping. So I got so spoiled, y'all, because like right around, I think it was like the 8-month time frame, homegirl was sleeping through the night. And when I mean like sleeping through the night, like I would put her down for bed between 7 and 7:30, and she wasn't getting up to like 6:30. Like completely through the night. No more waking up at 11 or 12. She was like all the way through the night. Then she had a regression, and she started waking up. She would sleep, but then she would still wake up around like 5 or 4 or 5, go back to sleep, and then wake up again at 7, 8. So we're back to doing that spiel, although sometimes, a few times this week, she's been sleeping straight through. So I'm hoping she's getting back to going all the way straight through, because I was just so spoiled. by that. And now she still is sleeping pretty much during the night because she still routinely goes to bed between 7 and 8. She's out between 7 and 8. She does not stay up past 8 o'clock. And she does not wake up at all until like the earliest, sometimes maybe like 4 or 5 randomly. And then the latest maybe like 6 or so. So she's sleeping pretty well during the night. She has been having, going through the 10-month regression. So she's clingier. And sometimes like recently when I've been putting her down for naps and stuff, she's been crying, which she hadn't been doing forever. And she is, sometimes when I put her down for bed, she's kind of crying and stuff. So I'm hoping she's going to get through the 10-month regression and we could move past this phase and then she can consistently sleep through the night. That's my hope. So that's her sleeping. She has a routine bedtime. We have a bedtime routine that I've had in place for months now, which has been a godsend. Like, I don't, knock anyone's parenting, but for me and like what works best for me is like just making sure that she's on a routine. It helps me function better. It helps her function better. And I can get like I have ability to recharge. Like when she's down at 7, like that's my night, like I'm like doing things, doing pamper, sessions, or either catching up on work, or, I have some me time, some quality me time, because I normally don't go to bed until around 10 and 11, between 10 and 11. So I have like 3 to 4 hours to myself. And I know that she's safe, she sleeps, she's resting, and, it's just, if I could give any parent out there any advice in my 10 and a half months of this parenting journey, is to set routines and try to keep it as consistent as possible. And sometimes she fights against it because just like everybody else, they're human, babies are humans, but just make sure you're consistent with the routine. It just gives you a peace of mind. It gives me a peace of mind like nothing else. So that's her sleeping. Yeah. What do you want to say? What do you have to say, Miss 10-month-old? What do you have to say? Huh? Yes? You want the phone? You can't have mommy phone because mommy got to finish her update. Let's see what else. So now we'll go into more like playing and developmental, which I kind of think I've already touched on. So I think that she's going to be walking here soon. She's pulling up, standing up on a lot of things and just, getting what she need to get. Right now she's banging on her diaper pail and standing up next to it. You guys can't see it because the camera, it's not focused that way, but she is, what is she's doing developmentally? She'll clap her hands. I'll see, when she comes back over here, I can get her to do it on camera. Sometimes they cooperate, sometimes they don't. She'll say ma, mama. Charlotte, ma, 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 ma. Ma, 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 ma. Yeah. So sometimes she'll do that with me. Let's see if I can get her to clap. Stanka. You want to clap, clap, clap your hands? You want to clap, clap, clap your hands? Clap, clap, clap your hands. 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 Okay, she's not doing it. So I'm not going to force her. She may do it later. I may get her to do it later. So she's doing that. We have been working on helping her identify body parts. I thought I brought it up here to her room with me, but we keep it down. I keep it down in her playroom. I brought this set from Target called Teach My Baby, and it is like early learning. I think it goes from 6 months to 36 months, where you can just start teaching your baby the body parts, their first words, numbers, alphabets, and all of that. So it's only like 10 to 20 minutes a day that you really devote time to that. For her age group, 10 minutes is max. Homegirl checks out, and I can barely get it to 10 minutes. Like usually we'll get a good like 6 minutes in. In the morning is when I do it. And so like last week it was self. So there's a kit, and there are different, I think it's 5 different kits. So we did the self kit, and it teaches her about like her body parts, like her eyes, her nose, her mouth. And what else was it? Her eyes, nose, mouth, teeth, tongue. And so we did that for, where's your tongue? 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 Ah, yes. She was just opening her mouth. So we did that for a week, and then now we're on numbers. So we're going through numbers 1 to 5. So I'm trying that out just because I think it's better we get started on this stuff sooner rather than later. I'm not a teacher, so I don't really know how to teach her that stuff. So that's why I brought a kid to kind of help guide me through how to teach her that stuff. And then whatever we're working on for that week, I kind of reinforce it throughout the week with just like randomly during the day. Like if I'm changing her diaper, I was like, Charlie, where are your eyes? Where's your nose? Where's your mouth? Where are your ears? And just try to reinforce it as we go throughout the week to hopefully that she's picking up on it. And then what else is she doing developmentally? She's doing all the things. She does this thing now, and I'm looking at her because she's over there by her dresser, where if she sees something under like her crib, her dresser, like under her chair downstairs, she's like going for it, and she'll like look down almost like she's hunting. You know how little animals they hunt for stuff? Like she does that. It's the cutest little thing. Right now she has her top to her milk container. She's just playing with it. She plays well by herself independently too. Like she'll, as you guys saw, like as I'm talking, like she'll go and like play with her different toys and everything. She sometimes wants to be held. Like during the day, she's a little bit more clingy, a little clingy and want to be held and things like that. But for the most part, she does well. She does well on her own, playing on her own. And then I like to get on the floor with her and play with her. Sometimes like I'll do that pretty consistently during the day for like 5-10 minute spurts here and there. Just because it's when you're eye level with them and playing with them, you know, I think it's better for them developmentally and all of that. We read regularly. See, she's standing by herself. Yes. Are you standing? Are you ready to walk? Are you ready to walk? I'm so glad I caught it on camera. So she's standing by herself, like I told you guys earlier. Yeah, so she's just progressing. I can't believe she's gonna be a year old in just a month and a half. I'm like trying to figure out what I'm doing about her birthday. I mean, it's definitely gonna be something virtual because COVID, but I just don't know what. Her favorite little show is Puppy Dog Pals. Puppy dog pal. Puppy dog. She loves that. I can't play the music because I'm sure it's copyrighted, but it's on Disney Junior, and she absolutely loves that show. So I think that's the theme I'm gonna go with, and I'm just trying to figure out how like to incorporate everything for her first birthday. But it's coming up. Her birthday is literally, I think it's literally 2 weeks after Christmas. So let's see. So Christmas is on the 25th, Friday. January the 1st is that next week, and January the 8th is, yeah, her birthday is literally 2 weeks after Christmas. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, what we want to do for that to celebrate her first year. And yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, she does the cutest little things. I pointed this out on Instagram, and I may insert a clip of it. But she loves to cross her ankles. Like if she's sitting in her high chair eating, she crosses her ankles. I think it's the cutest little thing. She's so dainty. And then if she's eating and the food is good, she rocks like this. She walks back and forth if the food's good. So that's like the cute little thing she does now. And yeah, this little thing, and I'll see if I can get her on camera. She pushes it, and this isn't supposed to be moved. Like she gets on it and she'll push it like it's a walker. I'm like, that's not what that shoe's for, Charlotte. Let me see if I can get her to do it on camera. She may not because she got that the other little thing in her hand. So yeah, she's doing all the things. She's very busy. And I get it because she's like being stimulated by all the stuff she does. See, that's what she does. She'll get up and try to push it. It may be harder for her to do it on this floor though because it's carpet. But yeah, so she's doing all the things, and I could not be happier. I feel like she's doing really, really well. And yeah, that's it. You want to say bye? You want to say bye-bye? You want to say bye-bye? Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, bye-bye, bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye.